Sagittarius, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Sagittarius, please. All right, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Your person, the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. They're viewing you as Temperance, Sagittarius. All right, what you're not seeing is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And we see the Hierophant card coming through in reverse. So some of my Sagittarius, this is a connection that hasn't quite found its form yet, or there's instability here. We see the Hanged Man energy in reverse, and I do feel with this Pisces energy, you're either ready to move on or you're starting to see things differently. You do want to see some sort of movement. And I do think if this person doesn't come towards you, that you will, use all of your strength and courage to move in a different direction. Now, you could be at a distance from this person, or you feel like they just are a bit distant from you. With the Wheel of Fortune energy in reverse, this is Sagittarius energy. You may feel like this is a karmic situation, or things aren't really moving forward the way you would like them to. You're viewing this person as the Four of Cups. So you may be thinking this person is emotionally unavailable. You may feel like, you're going to reject this person, or maybe in some way, shape, or form they're rejecting you. And you're viewing the connection as the Ace of Cups in reverse. So this has been disappointing, or it feels like a missed opportunity. Now, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but some of my Sagittarius, you're starting to see that this person might have unhealthy or toxic habits and patterns and behaviors. All right, and we see an awakening. A lot of you, you're awakening to this, whether this is someone you've been dealing with or this is someone you've been getting to know. So you're getting to know who you truly are on a soul level. And I feel like you're recognizing there's something here that isn't moving forward the way you wanted it to, or there's something here that feels a little bit off. Take things slow as you begin to shift the way you interact with the world around you. All right. And nothing is lost, Sag. Know that when you lose something, try to remember that there's always a deeper meaning, that anything you lose comes around in another form, and no matter how bad things may seem, all is not lost. So this is not your only option here. And you were chosen because you're perfect for this mission. Simply shine your light on the road ahead, and you will help others to see their way. So, it kind of feels like, Sagittarius, that you may be this person's karmic lesson. But I do see that you might be having a hard time letting this connection go, either because you really care for them or you really saw a future here. But Spirit's saying no amount of obsessing is going to make a situation better. Find a way to let it go. Now, with the King of Pentacles, you might be dealing with a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo here. I do feel like this is somebody who's very generous, very grounded, very stable. They may feel they might have a lot to offer here. But the Nine of Swords, okay, they're stressing. They're losing sleep over this. The Eight of Swords, but I kind of feel like they're doing something. I don't know if this person is avoidant and you're waiting for them to step up towards you, and they're stressing because they want you to read their mind. They want you to do the work. And we see the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands certainly can indicate that this person does want a relationship with you. They're happy when they're around you, but I kind of feel like there's something here they need to let go of. And that Devil energy could be toxic behaviors or patterns. It could be a karmic situation, whatever it might be. But what's interesting is I feel like this person comes off as very stable and secure, and like on paper they have a lot to offer, but behind the scenes this could be like emotionally messy, or the way that they think, I don't know, like intellectually or emotionally messy is kind of what I'm hearing. Sorry about that. So with Temperance energy, I mean, they're viewing you as in alignment. They're seeing you as an earth angel. All right, they're seeing you as an earth angel. They're also seeing you as a guiding light here. So I feel like my Sagittarius too, whether you know it or not, I feel like you've been a karmic lesson for this person. All right. And they might be acting like everything's cool. They might even be somebody you broke up with and they're in another relationship, but they still really stress about you, think about you all the time. All right. Hermit energy in reverse. I feel like this person is always kind of waiting to see you with that Virgo energy, but they feel like you've pushed them away, that you're getting attention elsewhere. And the Strength card in reverse. Yeah, they know that you're wishy-washy about them. They know that you've kind of found them out, is kind of what I'm getting. I feel like this person keeps up appearances, or they come off as like very viable, like a viable partner, stable and secure. They might have their finances together, but I feel like emotionally and behind the scenes, they're not quite who they seem. Now, this person is guarded. They still hold a torch for you. We have strong Virgo and Leo energy, so they could be a Virgo-Leo cusp here. All right, Sag, let's see what we need to know about this person, because it does feel like it's been a little bit confusing, but I think you're starting to see this person differently. And I feel like you setting strong boundaries, or you pulling your energy back here, whatever it is, or breaking up with them, you've been a karmic lesson for them. Like, you've really opened their eyes. So we see they could be an artist, somebody here who's, very creative. They're expressing a dimension of life that's just beyond the five senses. All right, and we see companion energy, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. I do think there's a lot to really like about this person. Okay, but there's something behind the scenes that just isn't quite as healthy or stable as it seems. Like, again, this person might be somebody who does quite well for themselves in business, or they have their own home. They're creative. They come off as like a really good partner, but there's something there behind the scenes that I don't know if it's an addiction. I don't know if it's the way they show up emotionally or don't show up emotionally in the connection or connections. All right, they're viewing you as a guide. So there it is, Sag. You have been a tower moment for this person. You have been a karmic lesson for this person. And servant energy. They see you as delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. They're seeing how much you give or gave to them. And also how much, I feel like how much wisdom you've imparted unto them. Now, the Queen of Pentacles energy in reverse in the hidden position certainly could be a third party for some of you. If this is somebody who's, they seem happy, they're in another relationship, but really, you're the litmus test. You're the one they compare all others to. Of course, that's not for all of my Sagittarius. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse also tells me this person may not, they may come off as very stable, but the truth of the matter may be that they're not. This person might have a nice home, but they might be house poor, right? Like, all their money goes into paying their mortgage and, keeping up appearances. This person may also be experiencing bad health, or just be feeling very drained behind the scenes. All right, the Two of Pentacles, they've made a decision about where they're investing their energy. And I feel like they have regrets. I feel like their decision to invest elsewhere, or just to focus on their career, or whatever it is that feels like they may have chosen over you, they have regrets. Or if they chose to not be emotionally available here because they wanted you to do the work, Sag, they regret that. And the Page of Wands, this person still holds a torch for you. I do think they think about reaching out and trying to heal things. They may even reach out and send you a surprise message. But the Hierophant energy in reverse tells me for some of you, this connection isn't quite ready to come into union. The King of Swords, you're definitely going to be getting communication here that this person is alone, left out in the cold. You might hear this from other people or directly from them. And the King of Cups, and you may be getting a love offer, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. But we see the Justice card. But this person, I think they're making a decision to reach out and tell you how they really feel. That's kind of what I'm getting. I think they're also going to be really open and honest about what you mean to them, or what you've shown them. I do think they've been experiencing tough karma behind the scenes. But I see the Justice card and the Hierophant card in reverse. I don't know that this connection is you're meant to be in union with this person. I just keep hearing they might shoot their shot. They might make a play. They might surprise you and make this love offer, or come in with an emotional message telling you how much, they've learned since you've been apart, or how much you've taught them, or how they see things differently. How disappointed they are in their own actions, or that things didn't work out. But like all of these cards here tell me that you may not really be meant to be in a connection with this person. All right, so let's see, what do we need to know about them? We'll get more information, more clarity here. I think you're going to be unexpectedly hearing from this person, and I don't think you realize how much you've affected them. All right, we see hush hush, so secretive, wish granted, and pacify. I'd be a little bit careful, because some of my Sagittarius, this person may be in another connection, but you're the one that they think about. You're the one that they want, okay? But so I get like an element of secrecy here, but like talking to you or hearing from you might really pacify them, might really calm them down. But there's something here they might not be completely honest about. All right, solving an issue. Like I kind of feel like this person, I kind of feel like this person feels like they owe you something. And like if you have this conversation with them, it's like it's what they've wanted, whether they're with somebody else or not. But there is still some sort of secrecy around them. There is still something that they're not being completely open and honest with you about. What else do we need to know here? Yeah, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. I feel like you are in separation from this person, or I think they're realizing there's certain karmic patterns that they need to bring to an end, but they've had that realization because of you. All right, we see paradise, so you make them very happy. Happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other, and wedding rings. They feel like you have this soul connection. You make them happy. They might not even really understand why you two aren't together, or why they sabotaged this connection. All right, and we see that this person has been focusing or needs to focus on themselves. They need to heal, to do some shadow work. I think you've triggered that in them. I really do. They may come in and lay it on thick here, right? Like that we have the soul connection. I always thought we would be together. And I do think you're going to get an emotional message. I think it's going to be a feel-good message. I think they're going to be very open and honest about how disappointed they are and how they treated you, or how things didn't work out how they wanted. But I'm still, Sag, I'm still weary with the Justice and the Hierophant card, which both are my marriage cards. I'm a little bit weary whether or not this is someone that you're really meant to be with, or are you just getting closure here? You're getting closure and understanding from this person about how much you've affected them. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. The King of Cups tells me you do have a love offer coming in. But you need to be clear, because like I said, I do feel like they're still kind of hiding something. We see gossip. I'm afraid of what other people will think. Again, this person might even be with somebody else and confessing how much you mean to them, or how upset they are that you two aren't together. For others, they're worried about like what your friends and family will think if if you two were together. They're reminiscing, I miss our inside jokes, and I haven't given up hope on us. So I do think the purpose of them coming towards you or sending this message is a little bit of a fishing expedition to see if you still have hope as well. But we see destiny. I'm struggling to find the right path. So they do feel like you're in their life for a reason. You've taught them some lessons, but they don't really quite know the right path forward. And again, they might be coming in to see if you can give them some help there or some direction. All right, Sag. Wow. All right, this is a really interesting reading. So Spirit's saying this might be emotionally overwhelming, so detach with love to clearly see the truth. You're going to get the apology that you want to hear, but the timing isn't quite right. So again, you want to sit with what they say, because I do think it's going to be a tower moment. I do think it's going to be unexpected. I do think it's going to feel really good. But again, wait, the timing isn't quite right. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we see true love and soulmate. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional, and your soulmate loves, accepts, and respects you unconditionally. Okay, now that might be this person, and there might just be timing. You might need to sit with this. You might need to get more clarity, see where they are, see where you feel. Okay, but I also feel like these two cards in particular are always my questions. Like, is this love emotional, physical, and unconditional? If you can say yes, move forward with it. Does this person love and accept and respect you unconditionally? If you can say yes, then maybe it's something worth considering here. Okay, so it's really going to be up to you. So let's see what Sagittarius is, what your messages, your guidance are for this. You know, some of you, this is somebody you're divorced from. For others of you, it's just a connection that hasn't found its form or wasn't quite able to find its form. Spirit saying, be where you're met, invest where effort flows both ways. And that's the big question. Can this person meet you where you are, Sag? And stay in self-respect. Act in ways you won't need to justify to yourself later. Right? Because for a lot of my Sagittarius, I feel like you may have already made your mind up about this person. But I do think the message that you're going to get is going to be quite flattering. I think it's going to make you feel really good. And it's meant to be all of those things. But does that mean they're meant to be your person? That's the big question mark. All right, my lovely Saggies, I'm going to leave it here. Sending you love and light. Take care.